You turn into this big ass bear and you. Hey, how about it, y'all? You got Hawg. I'm your Southern Diablo 4 resource. Thanks for stopping by. Server Slam week is here, finally. Diablo 4 Server Slam, it actually starts on Friday. Everybody knows. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's excited. Finally get to play the game. Finally get to have a little more taste. Finally get some new content to put out. Whatever, right? So, we'll say this right now. If you need a group to run with, it's a lot more fun to play in a group. So if you're solo or you need friends or you just need a cool community to hang out with, come to us. House for Hawg. We ain't mild, we wild. Links in the description. Okay, we got that out of the way. You definitely want to play with folks. It makes the game a hell of a lot more enjoyable. Okay, now, Hawg, what are you playing for Server Slam? Had a lot of people ask me. Of course, it's going to be Druid. Everybody knows I'm a Druid guy. If you haven't seen my Druid Warcry short, make sure you go check that out. It is freaking hilarious. Gives us all a little motivation to play Druid. I just want to drill down into my build, what I'm going to be playing. Now, a couple of things to point out. I'm not including aspects in this. I wanted to challenge myself. We don't know what the legendary drop rates are going to be. The items are definitely not going to be raining from the sky like they were before during the beta. That kind of leaves me not knowing what the aspects are going to be. So I don't want to give y'all a build and say, run this badass build. It wipes everything in the whole area. But you can't ever find the aspects that you need to at least put the build together. So we're going to go on a Druid build with no aspects. And it's going to be companion based because we got a huge buff during the post beta patch notes. They actually buffed companion damage, so we're going to let them deal all the damage, pair it with a couple earth skills and a couple defensive skills. So let's drill down and see what it is. All right, so I'm going to show y'all step by step how we're going to take it, because in the middle of this build there's going to be some rearranging that we're going to have to do. The refund, you're not going to have to refund the whole skill tree, but the refund cost will be very minuscule. You're just going to have to switch around 2 or 3 skills. But what we're going to take here is we're going to go Storm Strike. We're going to go Enhanced Storm Strike. Okay, and then we're going to go Fierce Storm Strike. So the reason for Storm Strike, it changed to 3 enemies, gives you 25% damage reduction. It also gives a 50% chance to make enemies vulnerable. If you don't know what vulnerable enemies are, a vulnerable enemy takes 20% more damage. Okay, so that's very critical to have. That's why you see rogues stacking vulnerability everywhere. And by the way, a rogue and a druid running together is devastating. Just to throw that out there, me and my buddy Diablo were running in the open beta with a rogue and the druid, and it just was absolutely unbelievable how awesome it ran together. So anyway, that's why we're taking the Storm Strikes. That's going to let us come down into our spirit skills here. And what we're going to do is take Landslide. We're going to take Enhanced Landslide. But the one that we really want, the main one, is Primal Landslide. So at level 7, you'll be into Primal Landslide. Primal Landslide is when you immobilize or stun an enemy. Okay, so remember, Storm Strike is going to allow us to immobilize. Okay. But you'll see in this build, we're actually going to stack 5 crowd controls. That's the one beauty thing about having a druid. It brings unimaginable amounts of crowd control to the party. So, again, if you think druid's slow and you're having problems, and the asterisk should be there by druid. Yeah, it's a little slower if you're running by yourself, okay? Don't run by yourself. The game is, my opinion, the game is geared more towards playing in a group than playing solo. Solo play, if you do it yourself, that's fine. More power to you. I personally have a lot more fun playing in a group. It's just a lot more fun. You interact with stuff. You got guys bringing different inputs. You have good times, laughs, memories. It's just a lot more fun playing with a group. It's also less painful because you get 10% extra experience for being in a group. So, or being close to your group, killing monsters. So level in a group. And then that will solve your pains of not being able to level real fast. So anyway, back to the Primal Landslide. After you immobilize or stun an enemy, it grants you a terror mote. Okay, well, Hawg, what the hell is a damn terror mote? Well, I didn't know either till a couple of my subscribers had pointed out something that I had obviously overlooked on Primal Landslide was the terror mote. The terror mote causes a guaranteed critical strike, and it adds a 40% critical strike damage multiplier. Okay? So what happens is, it doesn't matter what skill you use. It doesn't have to be landslide to actually cause that immobilize or the stun. All you have to do is immobilize or stun the enemy, okay? You get the terror mode. When you hit that enemy or whatever enemy, let's say an elite comes up on you and you hit him with the landslide, that consumes the terror mode. So you could save that terror mode up, and then here comes an elite, boom, hit him with the landslide. You get the guaranteed critical strike, and you get the guaranteed plus 40% critical strike damage multiplier. That is huge right there. It's something a lot of folks are overlooking about Druid. So, yes, there is a spirit cost at this stage. Okay, it means you're going to have to cast Storm Strike twice to get the amount of spirit that you're going to need to cast a landslide. But you're only going to be casting landslide when you want to consume that terror mode. You understand? So, really, spirit's not too big of an issue right here. But you want to save that up for when you need to do real good damage. Now, at this stage, like I said, we're at level 7. We're coming down into our defensive section of the tree. So what we're going to do is take Cyclone Armor. We're going to take Cyclone Armor. At level 8, we're going to take Enhanced Cyclone Armor, and we'll stop right here. 2 reasons why we're taking Cyclone Armor. A, it gives you damage reduction. There might be 3 reasons why we're taking it. A, it gives you damage reduction, okay? It's got a active and a passive kind of ability on this skill. When it's active, it circles winds around you and it knocks back enemies, and it also makes them vulnerable. Okay, so once we come up here and take this innate Cyclone Armor, it makes them vulnerable. It's guaranteed vulnerability. So now we've got Immobilize, we've got Vulnerability, which is not a crowd control, but we're going to throw it in that category. Okay, so we got Immobilize, Vulnerability, and we've got Knockback. That's 3. And then we're adding Slow. That's 4. So it hasn't come into effect yet, but you'll see why we're stacking all of these at the same time. Okay? The nice thing about Cyclone Armor is if you are lucky enough to actually find the aspect of Cyclonic Force, this will actually allow Cyclone Armor to be applied to all people in the party. So that's really nice damage reduction for all of the people in your party as well, but you got to be lucky enough to find that aspect. Alright, so at this point, we're at level 10, okay? And we need a couple more skills to advance into our companion section of the tree. So we're going to take Debilitating Roar, okay? This is a really nice skill overall. It's kind of like Ignore Pain. It makes all enemies deal 50% reduced damage. So that's really, really nice. Kind of helps keep y'all alive. It's for the whole party. It doesn't matter. It's not just the damage that the enemies are doing to you. It's the enemies, the damage they deal regardless. They do 50% less of it. And then we're going to take Enhanced Debilitating Roar. This is basically just a placeholder. I know a lot of y'all are using this in a lot of builds, but what I'm using this for is a bridge to get to the next step. Okay, here we're at level 12. So at level 12, we're going to come in and take Vine Creeper, okay? Vine Creeper is my personal favorite skill right now. It immobilizes every damn enemy in the area. It's like a vine. It comes out, it strangles. Everything's immobilized. So that's another way to immobilize. And it also poisons the enemies over time. So we got poisoning, knockback, slowed, vulnerable, immobilize. Immobilize, poison, stun, slow, vulnerable.
I'm not a smart man.
Yeah, that's a lot. We got 5 right now. Once you hit level 14, you can start refunding. You only have to refund 2, so the gold cost is not going to be that high. So at level 14, let's come in and take Wolves, okay? Then we're going to come refund Enhanced Debilitating Roar. With that refunded point, sync that into Enhanced Wolfpack. And this is the big skill that we're kind of stacking all these crowd controls up for, basically. Wolves deal 20% increased damage to immobilize, stunned, slowed, or poison enemies. Well, we're bringing all of those to the party. We're doing all of those things. So it really, if as long as you're doing your crowd controls like you're supposed to do, they're always going to deal 20% increased damage. Okay? So the last one you want to refund is the main debilitating roar, and we're going to sync that into enhanced Vine Creeper. Vine Creeper's immobilized duration is increased by 1 second. You definitely want to have that as well. You want that crowd control duration as long as you possibly can get it. Now, at this point, we're still at level 14. You've done 2 minor movements, and you're more powerful. You can actually deal damage now with your wolves. So, takes a little bit, level 14, but keep in mind we have no aspects at this point. We're not even looking at legendary items. We're not looking at anything. So we should be dealing pretty significant damage just by ourselves with just this build right here at level 14. So at level 15, I sink 1 more point into the Brutal Vine Creeper. Your critical strike chance is increased by 20% against enemies entangled by Vine Creeper. So that's just stacking critical strike chance. You want that all the time. And then at level 15, we're going to come up here and take, when you critically strike, your wolves gain plus 20% attack speed for 3 seconds. So at level 16, is this what we're sitting? Yeah, level 16, your wolves are even more powerful and your immobilized duration's even longer. Now, as you see, we can't get over here to our Wrath skills just yet. We need a couple of more, and we're really going to only pick up 1 skill over here. So your next 3 level ups are going to go into Call the Wild. 1, 2, 3. We're at level 19 at this point. Companions deal 30% bonus damage. So we're really stacking on the damage multipliers here on top of the post-beta patch notes that say companions deal significantly increased damage. I think this build is going to be really, really tough to beat as far as all these synergies and all the crowd controls and everything comes. All right, now the last magic piece that we need to complete the build is Trample. So as we sit right here, we at level 19. We're going to sink level 20 into Trample. And the whole reason that we're using Trample is it's like a badass kind of move skill as well as an attack. So it turns you into a bear and you just hauling ass. If you find the correct aspect, you know, you can actually turn it into like a seismic wave of the earth coming at folks. But the main thing that it does is it knocks back enemies, and enemies that are knocked back into the terrain are stunned. And so that's why we want to use it. Plus, it's also, like I said, a really nice movement skill. And a little tip for using it, use it to move, and then use your dash or your dodge skill, whatever G was, I believe is what I mapped it to. So use your trample, and then use your dash, and then by the time that you've kind of done that animation, your trample will just about be ready to be cast again, and so you can kind of leapfrog those skills and move around a lot faster with the Druid. So you get 2 extra skills by doing the Renown. You get 1 at level 1, and you get 1 at level 3. So we're going to add 2 extras that we get, and those are going to go into Enhanced Trample, and that deals 30% bonus damage. And then we're going to take the one that we really want is Trample gains 20 Spirit. So every time you cast this, now you're gaining 20 Spirit, which will free up Landslide for you to use a little bit more free than you were using before. So that kind of tightens the build up, fills that last slot up, and gives you a movement / crowd control skill. So that's our final piece of the equation. So we got knockback, we got vulnerable, we got poison, we got slowed, we got stunned, we got immobilized. We're bringing 6 different attributes of some sort of control to the party at level 20. That's pretty damn badass, and that's not even accounting for any aspect that you find during the game. So this is the one I'm running. Let me know in the comments below what you're running for the Server Slam, what class you're running. That would be really cool. Make sure to hit like and the subscribe button. So about 63% of y'all that watch my stuff are not subscribed to the channel. So if y'all would be kick-ass, do me a favor, hit subscribe. That would really help my channel grow and just help continue showing the content to everybody else as we shift into the launch of Diablo 4, which is, thank God, it's less than 30 days away at this point. So big thank you to all my followers, all my subscribers, all my supporters, and everything. Y'all kick ass. See y'all for the Server Slam. Make sure you're here Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the developer live stream. We will be streaming that. We'll open that up about 15 minutes early for everybody to get in. We had a really fun time last month streaming that one, so you definitely want to join us in this time. And make sure you join my Discord. Like I said before, links in the description below for the House of Hawg. We ain't mild, we're wild. And we'll see y'all next time.